Coach,
Everybody all right? Everybody good? All right, fire away.
I was talking to somebody this morning, and kind of the simple key to the game for Clemson offensively, I said, was can they block? I mean, is that really the simple
Talking
formula?
about last week against Citadel?
No, next week against South Carolina. Yeah.
This week coming up. Can we block?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can block. I think it's going to come down to basic football. Blocking, tackling, hanging on the ball. Same thing it is every week. And right, absolutely. And that's every week though. And they've got a very good defense. There's no doubt about it. They've had a very good defense. Their front is about as good as we've seen this year. And so, yeah, we're going to have to execute well. We are.
They've got an individual whose abilities probably surpass anything you've seen this year. And because of what he did last season, how do you approach that with Brandon and Isaiah and anyone else who's going to be helping out?
Well, I think definitely, he's one of the best players in college football. There's no question about that. Again, played against him the last 2 years. He's had some success against us, and we hadn't played that well against them from an offensive standpoint at times. Our guys they'll be ready to go. Brandon did not play well last year against him, and Brandon has been playing very well this year. He's been the most consistent player that we've got, and is playing exceptionally well. And so it'll be a great challenge for him.
Do you think that Brandon kind of approaches this week a little personally now, just because of the job Clowney did?
Well, I think we all better approach this week a little personally. It ain't just Brandon. I mean, it's all of us. I mean, we all are. And this is a and I said it Saturday after our game. I mean, this is a game this is a week that it's about Clemson, and we're going to focus extremely hard on can we continue to improve at the level we've been improving at over the last 4 weeks, and that's, to me, that's the sign of where we are right now. Because, it's about us, and we've got to be able to go out and execute. We got to be able to hang on the football. We got to be able to protect our quarterback, and our running backs and receivers have got to make plays.
Their two ends are 6'5" and 6'6". Battle being 6'7", does that help with leverage? Is that something he'll have to deal with? Or?
I guess you could read all that in the numbers if you wanted to. Can you block them? Whether you're 5'6" or 6'6", it really doesn't matter. It's a matter about getting out there and executing and blocking and playing physical and playing extremely fast. And I think that's something we've taken a lot of pride in, and that's not going to change. We want to play as fast as we can possibly play.
Chad, beyond blocking and all that, how do you think your guys have handled this game mentally the last 2 years? Because it seems like there's been a lot of missed throws, a lot of drop passes, maybe a bit of a deer in headlights look against them.
Well, I don't know so much of a deer in the headlight look as the fact that they've made some plays and we haven't. And I'm not going to make any bones about it. I mean, they've beaten us. And our guys, we haven't executed well, and coached well. They've beaten us. And they've had two very good football teams the last 2 years since I've been here that we played up against, the top defenses in the country. And they're extremely talented and extremely good this year as well. But again, it comes back to us. Can we make plays when we're supposed to make plays? And if you can do that, then you got a chance.
Given what you've been able to do well this season, do you approach this game schematically any different than you have the last 2 seasons?
I think that would be the absolute, as far as approaching this game compared to our games in the past here, as far as this season. I think that would be the absolute worst thing we could do, is to come in and feel like you've got to change everything up. They're not going to change anything up. We're not going to change anything up. You're going to be who you are. And you know, again, it comes down to, you know, we've got to go make the plays. We've got to go execute. And hey, they've beaten us the last 4 years, and you know, we've got to go play.
But you haven't been able to be dominant with the run game a lot of times this season, and you've
That's right.
but you've been
Yeah.
very, very good at times throwing the ball.
Mhm.
In the past, you've wanted to be more balanced. You've had to be more balanced. You've wanted to be. This year, you can't. You really can't be because of the run game. So it just looks like you would be a little different this year.
Well, I mean, you may be. I mean, you know, a lot of it depends. Everybody's gonna have a plan till you line up and snap the ball in the first play, and then you're gonna see what goes on from there.
Sure.
And you know, you're gonna take what they give you, and that's one thing we've been able to do. We haven't been able to run the football as much as we wanted to. We feel like over the last 4 weeks, so we've gotten better, and that's something that we want to continue to build on. We're gonna have to be able to run the football this Saturday, I'll tell you that. And you know, that's something that we're going to have to be able to do, and do a good job of it. But that's anytime you go on the road. Anytime you go on the road in a big game like this, you got to be able to establish some type of run game.
How do you feel about Isaiah and what he's shown you the last couple weeks? Do you feel like you guys maybe found an answer there at right tackle?
Well, I do. I mean, he's played well. He still makes some mistakes, but that's what you would expect from a young guy. Obviously, his athleticism is a huge advantage for us, and you know, his strength. His strengths are, you know, he's got such a, you know, his arm length is just unbelievable. You know, and be able to use his hands. So we'll see. I mean, he's going to continue to get better, and that excites you.
Time of possession has been pretty slanted in South Carolina's favor the last 4 years. This year, you guys have only won that TOP twice in 11 games. Because of the way this offense plays, is that just not a point of emphasis?
No, I mean, you know, I think we had 29 first downs. We're one of the top teams in the country in first downs, and so we are moving the football, and we're creating first downs. I think we're averaging right around 26, 27 first downs a game, which is unbelievable.
11th in the country.
And so that is a big, you know, something you look at, and you know, how are you executing on first downs and being able to create and move the chains. You know, I think one of the things, you know, as you look at the time of possession, obviously it's a big deal. I mean, it is, and you know, especially if you're not scoring points, it's pretty big. So, yeah.